Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's good to have you here with me. Thanks for listening. So this week, we're talking about breaking up with behaviors that do not serve us well. So if you didn't catch Monday's podcast, it was all about breaking up with worry. Okay, breaking up with worry. I love this idea of breaking up with behavior that doesn't work for us. And today I want to talk to you about judgment. Judgment, breaking up with judgment. Who's ready to break up with judging? Judging yourselves? Oh my gosh. How often are we doing that? I just did it before I pushed record, literally, for this podcast, because this podcast is also shown on my YouTube channel, Cindy D. Whitmer. So if you prefer video, if you're a more visual person, you can get all these podcasts on YouTube, okay? But I was looking at myself and going, oh, this hair, oh no, ugh, what about that? And oh, it's getting close to, I record these ahead of time and it's getting close to the end of the day today. And I've got all kinds of judgments of myself going on right now. My throat's a little dry. I think my makeup's kind of leaving. The hair's drooping. Judging. Now, see, I hope you're laughing with me, because isn't this what we do? This is what we do. Like, we pick ourselves apart. And so that is what I am doing literally right this minute, is I am judging myself as I am doing a podcast on breaking up with judging. Maybe we should also be breaking up with being hypocrites. Who's with me? Okay, so all right, so let's reel it in here, Sydney, reel it in. So yes, do I judge myself? Probably I judge myself more than I judge anybody else on earth. Anybody else like that? Tell me, let me know. But here's the thing, is that, when we're judging, whether we're judging ourselves or somebody else or something else, it never feels good, ever. Not ever. You might, when you're judging somebody else, because you're mad at them, or you think you're better than them, or they've hurt your feelings, you might think for a split second that little ounce of revenge through the judgment, or that little bit of, well, I can snap back at you, I can bite back, you're going to be mean to me, I'll bite you back by judging you. You might think you'll feel better, but deep down, you don't. And here's why. Because we were all made from love. We come from love, and our true nature is love, is loving. And so when we're judging, that goes against our true nature. Okay. So we're off path, right? We're off path with who our best selves are when we're judging. So that is a great reason right there to break up with judgment. It never feels good ever, right? Okay. So, so please give that some consideration. Here's another thing. It generally doesn't help our relationships, right? So one of the stretches of time in my life where I was using judgment on a regular basis to no avail was in my first marriage. I judged my husband left, right? Upside down, backwards, right? I let him know how bad he was at considering other people's feelings. I let him know what a poor communicator I felt he was. I let him know how selfish I thought he was. I judged him for his, well, do I want to say that out loud? I just judged him a lot. I really did. I pointed out things that I found unsatisfying about him, about his personality, about his choices for his time, about how he treated me, about how he was parenting our kids. I mean, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Now, judgment does not create emotional intimacy or intimacy of any kind, just the opposite, right? So part of when I was judging him, I was telling this story in my head that I was helping, that I was trying to help our relationship by pointing out things, that were growth opportunities, ways that we could improve things together if he would just do this and if he would just do that, or if he would just stop doing this or if he would just stop doing that. But that wasn't, and I mean, I was judging myself too. I mean, just for the record. But my point is that was not the path to greater intimacy, to healing, the healing of our marriage, or to joy for either one of us, for me as the judger or for him as the judged. It put more walls between us. It put more space and negativity between us. It put more darkness in our relationship. And this is true. This is a universal truth. If you're judging anyone, whether it's your clients, your customers, your boss, your colleagues, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your kids, your spouses, your, like I was, it doesn't make strangers on the street, drivers on the highway, it doesn't matter who it is. It never feels good and it never leads to anything positive. Not judgment. Judgment does not. So trust me, if you can break up with judgment, you'll feel better about yourself. You will feel better about your life. You will look at people and situations with different eyes, a different set of eyes, a different vision. What if we could change our eyesight to seeing what we appreciate in other people, whether they're strangers, whether they're drivers on the highway, whether they're closer like neighbors, whether they're highly important to us, like maybe family or friends or business partner, whatever. Looking at everyone with eyes of love and compassion and noticing what we really appreciate about these people. And then when we look in the mirror, also noticing what we really love and appreciate about ourselves instead of what we don't. We have a choice. Just like I said on Monday, we have a choice every day, thousands of times, at how we're going to approach something or think about something. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So you can practice this all day long. Okay? You can practice this all day long and catch yourself every time you're making a judgment about yourself. Oh, I look fat in these jeans. Oh, that person's always late. Oh, what's the matter with her? Oh, you shouldn't have done it that way. Or what are you thinking? Or what's the matter with you? Whatever you're thinking. Or hey, let's take it in a whole other level. What about the people you're judging who have different religious beliefs than you or spiritual perspectives? Those who have different political leanings than you? Those who believe in things that you can't even relate to at all? There's all kinds of that going on. Oh, and just think of how divisive that can be. Wars are started from these kinds of things, like literal wars start from these kinds of things. Wars between countries, wars between different groups within countries, violence amongst people, emotional violence, physical violence. It goes on and on and on and on. And then, of course, the violence between, people in your own household, right? The emotional violence of judgment in your own household. So there's all kinds of good reasons to break up with judgment, because first, it doesn't do any good. We don't feel good doing it. It doesn't change anything in a positive way. I mean, there's no good reason for it. There isn't. Now, discernment is a different thing. Maybe you're in a relationship with someone and you're not happy, and you need to discern whether or not you can continue in the relationship, or whether you really feel like you need to ask for change in the relationship. That's discernment. That's thoughtful consideration. That is different than just flat out judging someone. Okay. And if we want to go on a deeper, more spiritual level here, which I do like to do in my own life, so I'll go ahead and keep going down this path with you too, is that we often judge circumstances and events, right? This was a good thing this happened today. This was a bad thing that happened, right? Oh, it's cloudy outside today. That's bad. Oh, the sun is shining today. That's good. Oh, he got laid off from that job. That's bad. Oh, she got offered the job. That's good. Well, those are judgments, right? Those are all judgments. Those are decisions that we make about events. And we don't know what we don't know. Maybe it's actually not going to be the greatest job ever that she got offered. Or maybe it's the most perfect thing that he lost that job. Something that another door is going to open that's better. So we judge events also in circumstances pretty quickly, we humans do, because we think we know. We think we know the big picture, right? I think it's the author Mike Dooley who said, if you are judging anything that happens in your life as an isolated event, you are taking it out of context. I love that quote. I love it. If we're looking at anything that happens as an isolated event, we're taking it out of context. I love that, because that opens us up to so many possibilities beyond what we're thinking moment to moment, right? I love big picture thinking. So, or bigger picture thinking. So take that in and see what you can do about breaking up with judgment, and let me know how good it feels, or how hard it is, or what your experiences are. Like, email me, cindy@cindydwhitmer.com. I would love to hear your experience with working within this. If you decide you want to break up with it, that is, it's just a suggestion I'm making, but how about we break up with it and just see how great life can feel. All right. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.